Yeah. Okay. Could we get a
So we are live
Yeah.
on YouTube now.
Okay, thank you, Danielle.
No problem.
And so now you can- Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. I actually bought that in Ireland. Yeah. Okay. These are we call the meeting to order. Call the meeting to order at 6:12. Wednesday, our first. Looks like it's an in-person. Tammy say.
Just left message 3:15. I'm guessing we're supposed to call.
It looks like it's in, well, doesn't say whether it's in person or.
I think the first two look like we're just supposed to call because she's trying to call them.
Okay, well, I got a phone number.
Yeah.
It's 6:15.
We did, I guess we did not expect them to be there because
Okay. So we're gonna have that one. And then get. Okay, yeah, that's the plan for tonight. Okay.
This one is remember last year?
Say what?
Remember last year? No. Remember? That's what we're talking about?
Yeah, it says right here, it's here, claiming that the land and the building combined and only separate them for convenience.
So it's. Okay. So. Call. Oh, Tammy. I'll wait for sure.
just says that she may have been after this before.
Okay, what?
The note says that she may have.
Oh, wait a minute, it was here already. That's in 2019. Okay. Let's call her and see what. I guess it might be an appeal of an appeal.
We're sorry. You must first dial a 1 before the area code. Hello?
Hi, is this Tammy Feza
Yes, and I'm also here with my husband, Mark Feza.
and Mark Fuzz? Okay. This is Bill Lewis from Madison Board of Assessment Appeals,
Mm-hmm.
and Craig Becker and Shirley Taylor are also present hearing. This call is taped, so you know you're on tape,
Okay.
okay? And
Okay.
anyone who's going to testify, we have to take a oath. So are you both going to testify?
Yeah, if we have to, yeah.
Okay. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
Yes, so what do you just say?
Oh, yeah, just agree with it. Okay. All righty. Go ahead, start your case. We have the material you submitted.
Yeah, so do I. I have it in front of me. The reason I went ahead and submitted this is because we were concerned about the land value being too high. And I gave you several examples of it. We have an interior lot. If you know Edinburgh Lane, we're the only interior lot on here.
Mhm.
And I know interior lots, my mother's a realtor, and they're not as much value in to sell the house, and they're not worth the money for it to be an interior lot. And with the lot size, because we're only 0.46, we feel that we're being overcharged for our land.
Okay.
Oh yeah, relative to comparable people.
Mhm.
My husband said.
Okay. And and you gave a list of people you feel are comparable?
Yeah.
Okay. All righty, and does, these aren't lot sales, though, you took them off the property that goes with the home, correct?
No, these are sales. These are just property. I don't think any of them sold.
Okay,
I know 40 just is about to sell, but I don't think any of the other ones. No.
okay. 40 is, okay. Where did you come up with 135?
The way we came up with it because I really compared it to 58 because it was so close to 58, and with them being right in front on Edinburgh Lane, that's how I came up with it, because the interior with the interior lot, I just took the percent off. I just took a price off, and I came it up with my mom. She's a realtor,
Mhm.
with William Pitt, not in this area in Fairfield County. And I went through the numbers with her, and that's how I came up with it.
What, how do you access the property?
A driveway, a long driveway.
Is it your driveway or is it?
No, it's on my driveway.
It's your driveway. So your driveway goes to.
All the way to that.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're behind, God, like 5 or 6 homes
Uh-huh.
around us. Yes.
This was a Frank Becker. Did you guys place the seal on this property in the past?
What's the question?
Did you make an appeal for this valuation in the past?
I made an appeal with evaluation in the past, which was last year, and the reason why that was because of the square footage and the back patio. And they came in and they measured the house inside. They adjusted the square feet and they dropped off the patio because it's not a patio. We don't have a patio. And we never got consideration for the procedure filling. So I had one of you guys come in. And yes, we went through the appeal process last year. And that's what we did. We didn't touch land. We didn't talk about the land. We just did about square feet and about the back patio.
Shirley, you have any questions?
This was not to well, let you know that the Connecticut statute.
I can't hear you. Wait, what?
The Connecticut statute requires you to prove that both the land and the building are beyond the conflict property. You can't, if the land and the property are spread out amongst the appraisal or convenience sake, it's really the total value of the property that we're to look at. Comparable.
Well, the total value would be cheaper no matter what, because if you put the two together, you got the land is still not.
Because that's the appeal you have to make. You have to put the land and the building as one. So the land and building are comparable. That prove your case.
Okay, then I can put it together. It's not going to be. I can put a whole new list together for you because it's still going to have. You know what I mean? A lot of people who I did comp have. You know what I mean? Are square feet. We're still paying. I can get back together. I didn't know this. I know my mother is. They keep them separate. So I did not know this. I can get back to you and do a whole new list again for you guys. What do you want?
No, because the thing is, you appealed it last year. You get one appeal and you took it.
You get one appeal win every year?
Until something changes. Either something changed on the property, you removed something or you added something, or it's a revalue and they changed the
So after an assessment or change to the property,
yeah, or you demolish something.
okay, so basically what you're saying is, we've already built one,
Right.
so we have to wait till either the next assessment
Or I mean, you
or something specific to the property where we would have to pay permits or something like that.
correct.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, but I was never told that last year. That's why. And we were, you know what I mean? When I appealed it last year, it was just about square feet.
Well, but I mean, it breaks down the value. It was your tax bill on this property and how it breaks down, and you saw an area that you didn't agree with.
Yeah, I know, but you still pay one of the higher taxes in this street, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
We're almost to the guy who's Chevron, who has a pool. And we're almost to the exact amount he is. We're very close to him.
Mhm.
So that's why I have my concern. But if we can't do anything, when is the next appeal? I mean, assessment.
It'll be reassessed, I think, in 24, 23.
Okay, okay.
And you'll have plenty of, when they do that, you'll have plenty of time, like you can come down and talk to the assessors. They have open houses and all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
And they lay out all the maps of the areas.
Are you saying if I had an appraisal, and then I could bring it to you?
And you will have to talk to them. Either by.
We're talking about when they send out the letters from the town, the property vision appraisal, the appraisal, you guys.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you guys for your help. I'm kind of surprised we even had a meeting if you were eligible,
Well,
you know?
we don't know what happened, maybe you had a house fire or something, I mean, it's something that changed the situation that as it was last year, so,
Oh, okay. All righty.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Well, we,
Appreciate you calling.
we thank you and we appreciate all taxpayers.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Oh. Okay. I mean, we could get a map or something, but that looks to me like it's in line. Anyway. Now. 6:30. 6:35. It's coming up this side. Gerald and Sandra Gurley's. This is uh, 317 today, right? Okay, so that's that's that one we just did. Get it out of the way. Gerald Sanders. Huh? Gerlitz is okay, and I think we're talking to an attorney here.
Yeah.
Robin Bruce Chandler. Oh, that's the property owner. Who's the attorney? Oh, it's in Jersey.
We're sorry, it is not necessary.
Attorney Robin Sandler.
Hello?
Hi, is this Attorney Sandler?
No, this is Jerry Gerlitz.
Oh, okay,
I'll put you on the speaker.
okay,
Are you there?
I am. This is Bill Lewis from Madison Board of Assessment Appeals. And with me is Shirley Taylor and
We don't, very, very,
okay, hold on one second. It's Bill Lewis,
Oh, here we go.
okay, and Shirley Taylor.
Hi, this is Robin Sandler. We're in my conference room in Branford, and here with the homeowner, Joe Gerlitz.
Okay,
How are you?
not too bad. And Craig, there's three of us tonight, Craig Becker, Shirley Taylor, and myself, Bill Lewis. And we have the Attorney Sandler
That's correct.
and Gerald and Sandra,
Just Gerald,
Gerald Gerlitz, okay?
Yes.
Okay, and the attorney doesn't need to take an oath, but Gerald, if you want to testify, you need to take an oath,
okay?
okay? Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay, and this is recorded. I just want to let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
So before we get started, I know you had given me the 3 names, but then you didn't get a chance to write them down. Can I get the 3 names again?
You sure can. It's William Lewis. It's Shirley Taylor and Craig Taylor,
T-A-Y.
correct?
Uh-huh.
And Craig Becker.
B-E-C-K-E-R.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so go ahead. Present your case.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure that you have everything before you that I sent in my letters of February, where I advised the Madison Board of Assessment Appeals that I was going to be representing the owners of the property in their appeal of the finding by the Madison Town Assessor that the above captioned property, and we're talking about map block lot 139/21/unique ID 00672800, did not meet the qualifications of PA 490 open space under Madison Plan of Development. That's what the assessor had decided
when she issued her letter towards the end of November in 2020.
Okay,
And in my letter to the Board of Appeals, I included the notarized agent form signed by
yep, I have that.
the property owner, my
Mhm.
petition,
Yep,
a copy of a quitclaim deed, which showed that it was recorded September 30th, 2020 at 1:33 p.m., which were two parcels owned by the appellant into one parcel, which totaled 11.067 acres.
okay,
You have that too?
I do.
And then we also included a map that reflected that was dated September 15th, 2020, and filed September 28th, 2020, which showed the two parcels as one.
Okay,
And I also included a copy of the real estate notice of assessment increase, which was dated January 29th, 2021. You have that?
Mhm.
January 20, 2020. Oh, no, yep, yeah.
And then I also included, in case you didn't have it, a copy of the open space areas recommended for preservation in areas of open space, effective 7/97.
Mhm.
And it's our understanding that if a parcel meets the qualifications in that document, it should be accepted. The application should be approved to be considered open space. And that's what we're going to be basing our appeal on. The application filed by homeowner was a bit confusing to the Madison assessor because it listed the two parcels separately. These were the parcels that he had joined into one parcel back in the end of September in that deed that is referred to in number 3 of my letter.
Mhm.
In the application that the homeowner had filed, he listed the two parcels separately, and these two separate parcels, none of them separately met the requirement of it be 10 acres or more.
I got
But
it.
as urged by the city, it's still qualified to be given the open space classification. And that's what we're asking this board to do. Under the Madison Comprehensive Plan of Development, this goes back to 1988, amended by the document number 6, my letter dated number 6. It gives the criteria for which would be looked at to include the following areas for preservation as areas of open space. And of those 8 criteria, number 4 is the one that I think may have been misleading because of the information on the application. This parcel is over 10 acres, and it was over 10 acres on the date the application was filed by the homeowner back in September, and should have been given the designation of open space as requested in his application.
And what's the date of his application?
The application is dated September 30th, 20, and that's in my letter. I think I included a
Number 30.
that application was dated September 30th of 2020, and it was returned denied by the assessor on November 30th, 2020. With the, and again in the application, I don't know if you have it in front of you.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure which is it. I don't see his application. I see your letter that says notarized agent form executive. Copy of quick claim.
Yeah, this was an application that was filed with the assessor on September 30th, and the homeowner was given a copy of it by the assessor's office, and it's timestamped September 30th, 2020 by the assessor's office. So it was filed timely. The parcels were joined correctly about prior to the October 1st date, so they should have been treated as one parcel as reflected in the deed that was attached to the application. There was also a map attached to the application showing the parcel totaling 11 acres of change.
Mhm. Yeah, why don't you, yeah, hold on for 1 second. We want to see if we can locate this. Yeah, the application from the homeowner.
You have access to, I can send you the copy that I have, either through a text, I take a picture of it, or I can fax it or email you, let me know which one of those three would work for you if you can't find it.
Yeah. Let's see what happens there. She's gonna see if we can come up with a copy of it. But it's your point that they applied for it and that it was recorded all in the proper time.
Okay, I was not able to get a copy of the application.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that
Okay. Okay. We won't be able to get it till tomorrow probably. But.
Like I said, I can get it to you tonight if you have access to a fax or a
No, we don't.
email or even a text. Because I know that the original is going to be in the office, the assessor's office.
Correct, and we'll be able to get it. We'll be able to get a copy of that.
And when you do get it, if I can bring your attention to the middle of the application, there's a place where you put the property location, the map, the block, the parcel, and the total acreage.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Gurlitt did fill it out incorrectly, listing the two parcels with acreage less than the required, but when he combined them, he did prior to filing the application, recorded the deed and the map reflecting that the total acreage was over 10, that's 11.067, I believe.
Okay, now, and the point you combined them was in this quick deed, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Gurlitt and his wife owned both parcels, but they weren't combined until Mr. Gurlitt, who happens to be a surveyor by trade, combined them in one property description, one map, and one deed. So they are one parcel and will be indefinitely.
Okay.
And Mr. Gurlitt, I'm sorry, you may want to
comment on that.
I just wanted to say that the map was prepared in accordance with discussions with Dave Anderson, John DeLuca, and I forget who it was from the assessor's office. And they actually looked at it before we filed it, and that was the proper way to do it. So presumably it was done correctly.
Okay.
Now, this is very land been used in the past. Is that open? Is that for trees? Is that what is going on with it?
I'm sorry, you kind of broke up with your question. We're not sure what you asked.
Okay.
About.
Very pleased. I just want to ask about the law. Could you tell us what on the law is that
Yes, look.
grass? Is that what is going on? Is it trees? Is that has it been used in the past?
Actually, it's a wooded parcel. It has a stream running through it. I think probably well over 100 years ago, there was some sort of an old mill on it. But aside from that, it is a wooded parcel of property right now. With some wetlands, I'd say a stream, a part of a pond. Except for the dam that basically forms the pond, which isn't on the parcel itself. It's a wooded piece of property. No improvements on it. If you have access field card that was created after these two parcels were joined, it's showing no improvements at all. Actually, if you were to walk the property, you would never know there was a mill there. There's some old piles of stone and stuff, but you'd never know it was there. Typical of these historic areas that have either old ruins of old buildings or ruins of old mills. Without having an educated eye, you wouldn't know it was there. Well, there's a stream which is considered wetlands, and there's also wetlands as part of the parcel.
So this goes a little bit to Race Hill Road up in the
Yes, it borders
north.
Race Hill Road, and it also borders Route 80.
I got you. And okay, 80 would be
I
the,
think if you're looking at the map, you can see that.
yeah.
Have you talked to
I spoke to Dave Anderson, and I spoke to John DeLuca.
what was their comment? What was their
Well, they thought it was a great idea, especially because the property to the north is open space. And if you go directly across Route 80 from where I abut Route 80, it's open space. So it's sort of almost a contiguous area of open space.
What, where it borders on Route 80?
Yeah.
What's the approximate number there, just so I know where the,
You know where the toll house is?
yes,
Well, that's the toll house is right there on the corner of Race Hill and Route 80.
correct. Okay, so it's a little,
If you're looking, and if you're looking at the map, it's under the name of Mary Beth Samplewitz.
okay, yeah, I see that. Okay,
This is Attorney Stanley talking. Since the application is made to the assessor's office for classification of land as open space, I assume that it's her office that makes the determination, and it's actually the assessor is the one that signs the application is either approved or not approved. So I would believe in their hands, but under the criteria established by Madison's plan of open space development and the addendum to it that was put in place back in the late 90s, you could qualify, get the designation. And we do believe that we qualify.
Okay.
We certainly understand that. We have, we've tried to investigate on our own so we could be as best prepared for this hearing as we could be, but the communication has been difficult with some of the town offices because of the COVID restrictions. And normally all of us would be in one room and I'd be showing you pictures of the open space, and I'd have a big pointer pointing to a large map, and we could all be on the same page very easily. And the same way in talking to, the assessor's office or anyone, they're all very helpful, but it's sometimes it's difficult to communicate the way that
I think
we have nowadays.
yeah, I think we understand your case, and again, we have to do some research. We haven't run into anybody looking to change the designation yet, so. But we'll research it and let you know.
Yes, so just before I just want to run through what I understand the process is. If an application for open space has to be made on or before September 30th of a given year, so the assessor can do her job when she creates the list of October 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that was done. It was done on the last day of September, but there's no reason for denial because of that. And the parcel in question was over the 10-acre requirement as set forth in the document of 97.
Yeah, but you're saying on the application, it didn't list that, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it didn't list it the way that the deed had it.
Mm.
And I would have thought that the deed would have been referred to when processing the paperwork. In fact, the application that Mr. Grillis signed that C over was the attachment of the deed and the map that had been recorded reflecting the merging of the two parcels, creating the 11 acres and change. So it was all there.
Mm-hmm.
All there.
Okay. I think we have it. And
You will issue a decision and notify by mail?
yes, we will. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. If you have any other questions for myself or Mr. Grillis, we're certainly ready to answer them as best we can.
Okay. I thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You have a good evening.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
I thought that was land use was not up to the assessor. I'll have to check on that because I'm not sure. I don't think they can designate, because with open space comes a whole bunch of rules,
Mhm.
you
So,
know? Yeah, and you have the ability, if you feel like it, to go walking on it if you want to.
I think he's just trying,
But looks like a pretty cool piece. Yeah, it's voluminous. Yeah, but I don't think the assessor is the one who does that. I'm not sure. We'll check. But yes. It's gonna be tough, especially. I mean, he admits he didn't fill out the paperwork. And there was a lot of stuff in quick succession. I could see where that's. you know. Would you? Yeah. But I would think going forward, you could be able to do it. You say you made a mistake on the thing and it's not. Yeah. Okay. Legacy? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. George. What's that? George McLaughlin to represent me. Okay.
We're sorry. You must first dial a 1 before the area code.
Oh. I need to
Good evening, how are you this evening?
Good evening. This is Bill Lewis from the Madison Board of Assessment Appeals.
How are you tonight?
Not too bad. And with me is Shirley Taylor and Craig Becker.
Okay,
And I am speaking with whom?
George McLaughlin.
George McLaughlin. Okay, George, and you're the agent, right?
Well, I'm buying.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I'm the agent, yes, they gave the commission to me.
Okay.
I'm also a real estate agent, the real estate.
Okay.
Uh,
And we have
you
you.
had all the, that information I sent you.
Excuse me?
I sent in the whole packet of that information.
Correct. And we're just trying to get that, but we're just trying to get that in order so we can follow along with your case.
Okay.
Now, you're an attorney?
No.
No. Okay, then you're gonna have to take an oath.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you going to be the only one speaking?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All righty. And I have your packet in front of me, so we can follow along with your case.
Okay, well, the house is gonna be torn down, I'm waiting for my building permit now from the, town of Madison.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put up a new house is gonna be around $300,000. I am buying the property for $650,000.
Mm-hmm.
So total package all done would be about $9 million. You currently have it, and I think this is where some of the confusion is. 132 Twin Coves and 138 Twin Coves are 126 acres. They're both, the same size. They are not waterfront. I can't stress that enough. In front of the property I'm buying is about a third of an acre lot that belongs to the association. The association also owns the beach.
Mm-hmm.
There is a right of way, a deed right of way on the west side of my property, which makes the property even smaller. I can't do it here. That goes down to the boat launch, and it also gives the Ford dealer, I don't know his name, with the great big house on the point, access to his house. Running east and west on the back of the property is another right of way. It gives the two houses to the left of me access to their property. So the property is pretty well bounded by
two right of ways. And in front of it, people come down there with their chairs and their cars and park there. It belongs to the association.
Mhm.
So I feel that the other two lots that are water view are valued about 600,000. I'm talking about numbers. And you have this one and the one next to it, which are also water view at 888 or something like that. With 888. So I think they should be, well, I'll speak for myself, that my lot should be appraised at about 600 or 650,000. And then you put the 300 to 350 house and I'll get $1 million. So I think, like you said, that the misconception could be when you look at the property, it looks like it's direct waterfront and it's not.
Okay.
Okay. The house has been on the market for 7 years. If you walk it, it's got an 18-inch dirt crawl space for a cellar.
Mhm.
It was built in 54. Over the, I don't know how many years, 70, 80 years, that cellar's filled up with water. The 2x6 portraits, now they're 2x10, but back then they were 2x6, are rotted to the point that when you walk across the floor, you feel like you're on a trampoline. So that's why the house has to come down. It doesn't have to. When you're short up, if you're going to spend more to short up than if you just do a new house. I'm going to move the house back so it'll meet with FEMA's new regulations, and they're going to be very happy about that. And I don't know what else to tell you. What do you have for me for questions?
Well, see, right now, we're not dealing with what you're going to do, because once you build the house, they will assess the whole deal, the whole package.
Okay.
Your new house on that property and so forth. Not necessarily what you build. You could spend $1 million on the house, and that doesn't mean they're going to assess it for $1 million. You know, they're going to assess it for what it is at the time. So right now, what you want to do, you're going to knock it down. So the building's valued at 227, and that's what you're after.
Well, you have to have the land reassessed as not water, as water through the house and back of me. Exactly the same too.
Yeah.
Them at about 400,000.
Okay. I got it.
And you have the one that their land is at 449, which they abut me, and they got the same that view that I do. They're 75 feet or 100 feet farther from the water, but they have the parking, the association lot in front of us. I don't want to say parking lot, but yeah, I mean cars parked there, but it's not a paved lot or anything like that.
Mhm.
So that's my biggest concern is the value of the land. I think is misconstrued. If you look at my sheet that I gave you with the water few homes and the water flow, that 132 has the highest one for the land value, and the other two that are water view, 133 Twin Coast Road and 60 Bassett, they're about 450. So I don't know why this one is 888, and looks like all the waterfront homes are about 974, 886, and 934. Well, one of them is the great big one on the fence, so I can understand that. Like I said, it seems to me like the land value isn't quite what it should. Yeah. Well, not me. The owners have done about 7 years. They had 2 or 3 people that came in and they did the home inspection. And after they did the home inspection, the home inspector called underneath and said, the floors are all rotted. You got to jack the house up and replace all the floor joists and, put a foundation under it. So there's people are talking $250,000 to $300,000 just to do that, to save the house. And, it didn't make a lot of sense for me to save it. So, build a brand new one for 300, 350. So, they had, 3 or 4 offers, but as soon as the home inspector came in and went through it, they just didn't want to tackle it.
What was it listed for?
What was the what for?
What did they list it for?
Oh, it started 7 years ago at $1.7 million.
Okay,
The last, it was on for under $1.9 million, maybe $899, something like that. And I offered them $615. They took it. I was been on the market for years, and we're just happy to get rid of it. There's 5 members of the family, and the mother and father built it in '54 as a cottage, and then it was add on and add on and add on. Like they did in the open days.
Mhm.
So, like I said, it's you could go in there and walk through the place without falling to the floor, but it's seen its better days.
okay, so your major issue is you don't want it, you're saying it's not a waterfront lot.
That's correct. It is not. I can't stress. And I have 2 right away on the property.
You have 2, excuse me?
Right away.
Oh, right away, yeah.
Oh, they're both paved right of ways. One of them goes down to the boat launch, which services the 20 some odd houses that are in the Seafields Association, and the other one, which is on the north side of my property, services 2 houses, and that's also paved. So, one, gives the members of the association access to the water down the boat launch and access to that field in the front where they go they set up volleyball nets and picnic tables and have picnics, and it's everybody's field. It looks nice this time of year, but in the summertime it gets pretty active down there. Okay, if you picture a shoebox, in the right side of the shoebox is about 20 feet wide. That's the paved right of way that goes down to the waterway. And at the back of the shoebox, between Coles Road comes down, and it's actually a dead end, but it takes a left right across my property, and it services the 2 houses that are to the east of me. So, like I said, they're both paved. They've been there for years, and people drive up and down there. There's one guy on his back. He did what I don't know what the bird see out there or what, but no less than 8 or 10 times a day, he drives down to the water, looks over the water for 10 or 15 seconds, backs up, and goes home. He comes back, a couple hours later. So I don't know what his deal is, but it is used, for a bunch of boats and kayaks and canoes, things like that.
Okay.
So like I said, I just think that the major problem is the land valuation. I don't mind. I'm certainly I tear the house down, they'll knock off the value of the house, and then like you say reassess it. But it's just not waterfront. And I think over the years people just assumed it was because it's a grass field, and the previous owners would mow their lawn and they'd mow the grass field at the same time. Grass lot, keep it neat and clean.
So, but there's nothing between you and the water, correct?
There's nothing between me and the water.
Right.
Well, there's the big lot in front where it belongs to the association.
Okay, but there's nothing on that lot. You can see the water sitting on your
Oh,
porch.
yes. I got that great big house in front of me. The fourth view, that's number, 133.
Okay,
I think he's 133.
and he's in front of you?
Yeah, he's 130. Twin Falls. Yeah, the house is 4 or 5 houses. That's a great big one. Oh, that's under water pump. I have all my stuff here. Yeah, he's assessed about $2 million. You know, rightfully so. I don't know if you have the down in the house. Did a beautiful job. No. I'm building for myself. And I just happen to be a real estate agent, but I am building for myself. I'm not going to start up something. But no, I plan on building there and take me out of the box.
Okay.
That would be my goal. Yeah, very peaceful. But like I say, you know, in the summer it's not too busy, and there's, you know, you got neighbors in the front yard with and volleyball and cornhole games and horseshoes, and you know.
Mhm.
So I would appreciate if you could readjust the price of the land and the fact that it's not a waterfront property, and I think that would be very fair.
Okay, yeah, we'll pull a map out and check all the properties around it and so forth. And try to figure out what's fair.
And, you know, the association also owns the beach. You know, they own the lot and they own all, I don't know, a couple 300 feet, I guess.
Yeah.
They own all of that. So.
And what you have beach rights, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I wish you all safety and be healthy.
Thank you, sir.
Same to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye bye. We gotta get a map, Shirley.
Where's the code for the water? The LS6 part?
He-
So how do you know if that, what is, where is it really? Right on the edge, yeah. Well, he admitted that the one he was directed to was quite a bit further away. Yeah, well, he said that these that he was comparing were further away. But that's not the code. The code is a section.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd have
Right, I
to,
got you.
we'd have to see the map.
All
It's an unqualified sale. Yeah. On his field card. Where you been? You got, no.
So,
Vacant. And he's going, you know, for basically a shack to a FEMA house, but he's not building it for 30K. He's kidding himself if he thinks that's happening. Just the windows. You start putting hurricane windows and. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, we're not dealing with that. He doesn't have it. That's what he's gonna do, you know? He put a lot of stuff in there. Basically, he wants us to devalue his lot. Yeah. No. No. Okay. getting some weird ones tonight. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. So we're, sure, okay, yeah. He sent way too much information.
So only one of the comparables is a qualified sale,
Okay,
which is 55 number road.
that's
Um,
55, everybody uses.
It is a qualified sale though.
Yeah.
So they must have been deal number.
Yeah. Gotta be a little free. I don't, did you see a field card for this house? For Legacy? Can't find it with all the stuff you have here. Huh? Well, what I might do. What?
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is what's what, I'm still working on it. Oh. Do you have a field card on him?
Yeah.
Matt. Detroit.
This is the appendix.
Yeah,
You know, I mean,
who wrote that?
It doesn't say, it doesn't cover my.
I'm wondering if it's, here. Is that from?
so I need,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is from the last hospital.
I don't think so. It's,
No, it says he's trying to.
map 1360.
Because otherwise we don't see it. The town doesn't show content. But this is in the critique. Because it says how this package that we got from Mr. Boyle is talking about the view of the hotel. Condition,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also,
Oh, yeah, here we go. We know the president of something. To the proximity of the
Yeah.
However, the subject site, blah, 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 reported on the scene or later in the subsequent trucks. Yeah, someone like criticizing. I know we know that.
he used to be, he's a care. He used to be the assessor for the town. And he lost the job. So he's probably not happy. What I'm gonna do is, I'll have a full map. And we'll price the property, see what the rest of the lots are.
You know, for Raffle.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I mean, he gave us way too much.
Yeah.
What he's gonna do doesn't affect us.
Yeah.
His point is, he thinks the lot is wrong, so
Yeah.
we'll check all the lots.
Exactly. We didn't need to go.
Yeah. And the, you know, his plans of his building plans. Okay, yeah, this is the fish house. You know this house?
Well, I read about the it's, I know.
Yeah. That's, you know, when you go to the beach, the Madison Beach Hotel.
Yeah.
That was that big fight about the town. They wanted to give them this house, you know, so they had beach access, and they wanted to use, the hotel wanted to use the little beach in front of them. That's what that all went about.
How do we know that? Well, I believe you.
Oh, that's not part of the filing?
No.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I have a copy of that.
Mhm.
Okay, should we give him a call? A little bit late. Yeah, about 15 minutes. So I guess we'll be talking to Tom Boyle. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you know that. 917, seven. Long distance. All right.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try your call again.
917.
Yeah. Might be a cell phone. They have some new. There it is.
We're sorry. You must first dial
That's long distance.
Yeah. You have it?
Hello?
Hi, who am I supposed to speaking with?
This is, Scott Duquette.
Oh, Scott, this Bill Lewis calling from the Madison Board of Assessment Appeals.
Oh, hi.
Not too bad. And
Hi.
Shirley Taylor and Craig Becker are also present.
Okay, I was going to merge, Tom Boyle into this call.
Okay,
Real quick.
you sure can.
I think I got Tom in now. Tom? Hi, I'm here.
Okay. Anybody who's going to testify, we have to take an oath. So I assume it's you, Scott, and Tom.
That's right.
All righty. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
I do. I do.
Okay. And this is recorded,
Okay.
so you know that. Oh, all righty.
Okay.
State your case.
Okay, can I just ask a question before we start?
You sure can.
And that is, I've, obviously never done it. I've been in front of this board, literally hundreds of times, but I've never done one by telephone. Who am I speaking to? Is the whole board there?
Yeah, well, 3 members of the board tonight. It's William Lewis, Shirley Taylor, and Craig Becker.
Okay, so Lynn Hubbard isn't there.
Lynn Hubbard is absent tonight.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
Okay,
That's fine. I think Scott's gonna start, so go ahead. Yeah, I thought that what might make sense is for, Tom to walk you through his appraisal. Explain to you why he believes the valuation is what he believes, what we believe it to be.
okay,
And then, I would speak to the other documents, after, the compromise document that I submitted in addition to the, appraisal.
okay.
So maybe Tom could take it away now. Oh, sure. So this is a property that probably everybody is familiar with. It's 91 West Wharf Road,
Mhm.
formerly known as a little tiny shack called the Fish House.
Mhm.
It is opposite the Madison Beach Hotel. And of course, that little tiny shack was demolished several years ago. And the structure that is there now is what what I have appraised and what Mr. Duquette here is appealing. So before I talk about the appraisal, I just want to hit the big points here. And obviously, please stop me anytime because I will just go on and on. Obviously, the biggest issue of this property is the 0.23 acre site.
Mhm.
It does have a small amount of water frontage.
but it is opposite the Madison Beach Hotel, which of course is an imposing structure right across the street from the subject. It also, just because of its location and because of the situation in terms of getting it built, it also has the southern portion of the site is compromised somewhat by having public access to a public beach. So honestly, the 0.23 acre site is actually not entirely usable by its owners. And then of course, directly south of that area is the Madison Beach Hotel parking lot. So it's got a tremendous amount of commercial influence, this small piece, and it does have some waterfront area too. So we can't forget about that. But the land, the location of this and the land condition really is a substantial detriment to the value of this property. And I noticed on the field card it is issued. There is it is mentioned. There's a exterior location comment on here, and they supposedly, assumedly, have reduced the land value because of that. The land value is true value at $1,641,400, which I think is really totally high for a piece of land, waterfront or not, that has this kind of commercial influence next to it. So that's the main part, the main thrust of this appeal is the fact that we have some a piece of land that is severely compromised by the things I just mentioned. In terms of the field card and what's on there, there is one rather large error on the card. You have the card in front of you, the board, or do you not?
I do.
Okay. So you'll notice on there that it calls down the second page on the near the bottom, it has FAT, which means finished attic, and it's giving it 203 square feet of finished attic. There is no finished attic in this house. The attic is entirely unfinished. So that's just an error on the card that of course should be corrected. Now, my experience in getting those things corrected is it doesn't happen. So how you tell me how it works.
It's very simple. We put a request for them to go down and inspect it, and that particular, and they will. And this is routine. We do it all the time, and it's always successful.
Well, I think the difference because I've seen it not be successful many times, but that's just my experience. It's okay. I just wanted to make sure that it will get reported to the assessor, as you say. That's fine. That's all we can do here. So that's the only issue we have with the field card in terms of the description of the improvement. It is a I'm calling it 2,777 square feet, where the town calls it slightly larger than that because of the attic area. It was built in 2014. It is a perfectly nice home. It's in good condition. It was built on piers, so it's raised up off the ground, as it had to be built that way. And underneath, between those piers, you can fit two cars. So we're calling it a two-car garage. There is no fireplace, and it's in what I consider to be good condition. So the first thing, as from an appraisal point of view that we do to try to figure out what this thing is worth is to look at all the waterfront properties in Madison that have sold. And I have to be honest with you, the comparables for this property are not terribly good. They are all over the place. Most of them are much older because there aren't that many new construction properties that happened, prior to 2018. The appraisal done, of course, as of October 1st, 2018.
Right.
So the three sales that I ended up choosing are three sales, two of them on Middle Beach Road in close proximity, and one a little bit farther out on Hotspur Lane. And they sold between $1 million and $2.4 million, which is a huge spread, but I had to use that spread in order to come up with all the characteristics that I wanted to bracket in doing this appraisal. So the biggest issue, again, is the land value and the site issues on this property. So that's where you're going to find the largest adjustments, and indeed you do. And if you go to page 4, you have the report report in front of you, right?
I do, but you're outside of the date ranges on some of them here. For the
How's
sale,
that? How is that?
wait, 10/31 to 16,
So it's prior to the reval date, not certainly within a year of the reval date, is that what you're getting at?
right,
Yeah, so if you look between 10/1/17 and 10/1/18, I promise you, there is not a comparable that would make any sense at all.
okay, go ahead, shoot, I don't want to stop you.
You are perfectly willing, I'm perfectly willing to have to do that, and I could discuss them all day long with you.
Well, that's,
And, you know, in terms
no,
of.
we're going by what you submitted, we're not adding stuff to it. Okay?
I'm not adding.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't understand that. I'm not adding anything to this report. I'm
Well,
telling
no.
you what the proper comparable.
I see what you are, but I'm just telling you, you're out without,
I know out of range regarding what the
correct,
vision had to look at. I understand that completely.
okay,
This is the way appraisals are done. You go before the appraisal date and you find the best comparable, which is what I've done. If there is a comparable that someone could find, I'm telling you, because I've looked many times, between 10/1/17 and 10/1/18, I guarantee you I would have used it.
okay.
There is one that I could actually mention that I will. Anyway, so the big issue with this, as I say, are the site issues. So what we have to do is figure out what the difference in site value is between the subject and the comparable sales I use. And they're big adjustments. I just don't have any choice. I had to make appropriate adjustments for what's going on here. 63 Hotchkiss Lane is a half an acre site with, of course, no commercial influence at all.
Mhm.
And so I made the adjustment that you see there at 450,000.
Where'd you,
166 middle.
now, how did you come up with 450?
Okay, so go to the next page, page 5.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see what I estimated the site value of each of those comparables at. So I thought that, and you will note, well, first of all, comp 1, which is 63 Hotchkiss Lane, I'm saying the site value is $1,000,007. I'm saying the subject site value is only $1,150,000. Therefore, the adjustment plus the larger acreage would come up to that number. So that's how the way that the way that those adjustments were made were comparing the estimated site values of the subject versus each of the comparable sales.
Mhm.
And you will note that comp 1, which is again 63 Hotchkiss Lane, if you look at the town's estimate for that site value, it will be very close to where I
Okay.
they're at $1,789,000. So I'm not making up these numbers. I'm using estimated site values to come up with the adjustment.
Mhm.
So 166 Middle Beach Road, same thing, about a $450,000 adjustment for the site value of that property. And then we get to 55 Middle Beach Road, which is probably the most instructive sale that I found. So I'm saying that one's a little bit worse than the subject because it doesn't have direct water frontage connected to its property. Its water frontage is across Middle Beach Road.
Correct.
55 Middle Beach Road is on the north side of Middle Beach,
Mhm.
but it does have a very small piece of waterfront on the south side of Middle Beach.
Correct.
So the adjustment then is $100,000. I thought the estimated value for that comparable was $800,000. You're at $100,000 plus a smaller site, and it doesn't have a good water frontage. So you add up all those, and you're going to come up with about the estimated site value difference between 800,000 and the subject at $1,150,000.
Mhm.
So that's the biggest part of this appraisal is the site value, and that's how those estimates have to be made. There's no other way to do it that I'm aware of. As you go down, there's other adjustments, of course. I'll bring up one other large adjustment. So there's other adjustments in the appraisal that basically are just trying to come up with differences between the subject and the comp. Again, 55 Middle Beach Road, probably the best one because it's newer construction as the subject is. has similar room count, it's a smaller house, and that's adjusted at $100 a foot, and so forth. So when I'm finished with all this, I'm saying that the subject has a value of $1,550,000 versus the town at $2,259,200. Big difference. And I really believe that this house would not sell anywhere near that 2.259, mostly due to its site issues. Simply, nobody's gonna is gonna value this property at that kind of level, being next to commercial activity like that, losing part of its site due to public access, and having a parking lot right next to it. So that is the appraisal. I'm gonna just give you another address, because I noticed it while I was preparing this evening. It's not part of the report. It can't be, because I just saw it tonight. There's a sale at 156 Kelsey Point. Different neighborhood, you have to make big adjustments for it. It's a raised structure built
Tom?
in yeah,
Tom?
go ahead.
Shirley has a question.
Oh, go ahead, Joe. Yeah. Right. Right.
And then, the other one, 166 building, actually on the water, you got a minus 450,000.
Right.
Mhm.
It seems like 100,000, like a lot more than there, 450,000. Could you tell
It
us
is. And
how-
let me try to explain again why.
Yeah, okay.
So 55 Middle Beach is on the north side of Middle Beach Road, but it has waterfront property that it owns on the south side of Middle Beach Road. So it's technically a waterfront property, but it's not as good as a waterfront property with direct access. Okay, so the $100,000 is meant to reflect the site value of that comparable. I say, and the town says too, that the site value of that property is $800,000. So you take the 800, you add 100,000 for its waterfront nature, which isn't as good. 100,000 for the fact that it's half the size and non-conforming, and 100,000 for its appeal as not as good waterfront site, and you come up to about $1,150,000 where we are. So that's how that adjustment works. It's just an adjustment trying to estimate the site value of the subject versus what the site value of the comparable is.
Thank you.
Okay. So any other questions? Okay. So I'm just going to bring up an address. You can look at it if you like. It's not part of the report because I didn't put it in, but it does make sense, and it supports the same kind of value. It's 156 Kelsey Place over Rock Neck Road, and it's a newer house, smaller, but raised up like the subject, and it sold for $1,000,001, and after adjustments, including a fixed location adjustment, would adjust to about $1,430,000. So I just want to bring it up because it's something I could have and probably should have put in the report, but I didn't because of its different location. So the bottom line is that I believe the property should be appraised at $1,550,000. I think that's what it would have sold for as of October 1st, 2018, and probably Mr. Duquesne here has some other comments to make.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll go through it relatively quickly. I mean, so I sent a cover letter just speaking to, the goal of trying to come up with some sort of compromise in the interest of avoiding court and fees associated with that for both the town and myself. But basically, there's unique characteristics of this property that makes it, tricky to come up with what would be an appropriate compromise. So I attempted to do that in that small spreadsheet. I don't know if you have it in front of you. But basically, the trick with the property is that there's a portion of that beach, as the town alluded to, that is is treated as if it's town beach. And the town, charges a fee for people to get passes to go down to park at West Wharf and to use that beach. And they do use that beach. And there's a fence that was put up, and I submitted that so you can see the kind of the bird's eye view. And that was at the request of the town to not cut off access to where people get their kayaks and stuff like that. So they didn't allow me to truly delineate where that beach is. Not that I would necessarily want to, because but that I technically would be allowed to, given the fact that there was a pre-existing fence there in the past. But anyway, so there's a portion of that beach which represents somewhere between, because it's buried over time, because we've actually looked at it in the past, and it's been between 20 and 30%. So what I did for my compromise valuation analysis, which again is not the value that we believe, but it's an attempt to come up with some sort of compromise with you folks. I used the lower end of that, which is a 20% reduction for what really isn't is claimed to be private beach, but isn't treated that way by the town. Then I looked at for the building, I looked at the different buildings in the neighborhood, and I used the other side of the hotel because those had more, I think, more fair comparables. Although the fact that they are not on a busy road like West Wharf, they're on a private road, created some difference. But for sake of compromise, I used the per square foot price for the 11 Parker Lane house, which is also right next to the hotel, but it, as I said in the notes, doesn't have a garage, and it also, but it's on a private road, so it's in a much more desirable location. But again, it butts the hotel, and it was literally built the exact same year. And for some reason, the 91 West Wharf has a building value that's, 147 per square foot, so almost 50% higher in building value than that one. So I did this analysis and laid it out as an attempt to try to, like I said, create some degree of a compromise with you all relative to the very large discrepancy between the appraised value and the town's current assessment. So, if you have any questions, happy to answer them. But that was the goal in doing that analysis, which I'm told is not a common thing that's done, but I thought it would be helpful in trying to work through this large discrepancy.
Okay.
Any questions for Mr. Duquesne regarding his paperwork?
No.
Is that it? Okay. I just have one more comment because I've been thinking about the comment that the comparable sales I used were what you said, quote, out of range, unquote. First I've ever heard that coming from the Board of Assessment Appeal, which is interesting. Very typical to use older sales when you don't have more recent sales. Those sales are absolutely available, division appraisal, when they came up with a estimate of value for this property. So I'm going to take exception to the fact that they're, quote, out of range. I'll just add that of course, if this thing gets to court, or if any appraisal gets to court, that item completely goes away. No one's ever questioned the fact that a date of sale of a comparable is more than 1 year prior to the reval date.
Okay, we're not.
So I just want to bring that up.
Okay, we're not debating that thing. Okay, that's
Sure, I'm just telling you what I
that's
think.
another one. Okay,
Can I ask one question? I'm sorry.
sure.
One thing. So what is the process? What happens?
We review the material you submitted, and we mail you our findings.
Okay.
When do you think that might happen?
You'll get it by the end of the month. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, you don't have that many years. The third year of the process, so there's not too many appeals, right?
We're also very good at what we do.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
Board members, before Mr. Dupez leaves, or he can leave, doesn't matter. I have another appeal at 7:35. Is that, we can just stay on the line if you want, or you can call back. Doesn't matter to me.
we'll call back. We have to get some paperwork out.
Yeah, no trouble. Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Thanks very much for your attention.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, okay.
2.259.
Yeah, and they've got the dwelling at 617. I mean, it's a new building. I don't think he's fighting, there's not much room in that. But he's after the land is the one. What, the hotel? Yeah.
So how does that benefit? The fact that we knew we bought it, but we didn't have to accept the value?
Yeah,
Right, but where's this stuff like close to 2.25 million?
but we, don't let me forget to put in a request to
If the
check that
part I
finished
have
status.
is 900,000 in 2006. It's an unqualified.
Yeah, because that's the owners of the beach hotel.
Okay. But so how, we're saying you paid more than this point or close to this point.
Well, where was the,
Because the leasehold? Because the cost.
no, well, the house cost 647. The demo, they didn't list how much that cost. So it sold Madison Property Ventures for 900,000 with the old house, which was a shack. But that's an unqualified sale, so.
Okay. Okay. What happens though, I mean, that does happen, right? I mean, you don't have anything to
There's. There's other sales.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, there's sales. So,
It's not. next to the-
we're not supposed to go research them, but there's definitely sales. One of the things that we definitely can do is check for the finished attic. Okay, what? Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, this is gonna take. That won't be a major difference, but it'll be okay. So we got Tom Boyle again for James Murphy. James Murphy. Geez, we're getting late on some.
Well, don't forget to file, too, at the end.
Yeah,
Like,
Yep. The late file. We got one coming in at 8:15. But Tom likes to talk. Okay. But this he's never heard that before, Shirley. Okay, this one. Yeah, he's been here a couple. Okay. Compare what? James Murphy. Special. Toffee Lane. Where's Toffee Lane?
Got me.
This beach is only 103,000.
Exactly. 102. I understood the breakdown. But where's the $100,000?
Well, that's just pure swag. Like we're 450. 450. I mean, and that's so arbitrary because that happens to be a very nice beach with a breakwater there and all that stuff. And but according to Tom's hotel,
Because the bouncy line's higher and the map is so nice. Having a map to look at.
yeah,
Oh, it used to be on the
You can do it in the file.
yeah. And if you want, Shirley, I'll pull the maps. I'll have her pull the maps for us. I like it, yeah, and I like to make notes on it. So.
Hi, Bill. I don't mean to interrupt or anything. I just want to let you know there is someone named Stacy Feeney who just entered the chat and said that they're supposed to be at 7:55 for gateway rides and sales at Robert's Foods.
Yeah. There's one more and then we'll be calling her.
Okay. I just wanted to let you know that there was a chat.
Okay. Yeah.
Open up. Says you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So these are unqualified sales.
Yeah.
Coffee Lane. Okay. Okay.
Oh, this is the one he just referenced, right? This is the Chelsea Place? Isn't that the one you referenced a minute ago?
Yeah,
But I thought we said Chelsea Place was one call. Or was it a different number?
yeah.
I wrote that here.
Which one's, you're saying Toffee's unqualified, right?
Well, yeah, it's the same number. Okay, so before we were talking, but it wasn't submitted. Okay,
So Kelsey is qualified.
yes. 156.
Okay, okay. And Middle Beach, are they unqualified or qualified?
The only one that's qualified is 3.
Okay, okay. So, Tom Murphy. Ready?
James Murphy?
Huh? Tom,
Tom
Oh,
Boyle, James
it's
Murphy.
James Murphy. Okay,
Tom Murphy.
okay.
Tom Boyle.
Tom Boyle, Bill Lewis calling from Madison Board of Assessment Appeals.
Wonderful.
And is Mr. Murphy gonna speak?
Mr. Murphy's not going to do that. I should have a agent letter.
Okay. Okay, so we don't have, you're already sworn in.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna do it one more time, Tom.
No trouble.
Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay. Shoot,
Ready to go?
ready to go.
Okay. Okay. So this one is it's actually adjacent, right next door to the one we just did. This is 89 West Fourth Road.
Okay,
It's accessed from West Fourth by a driveway behind that 91 that we just looked at, and it's so it's just one block away from the beach hotel with those kinds of adverse influence.
so it's in between the Dolly and the,
No, if you go down, it's and you get to the fish house that we just did.
yeah,
The driveway to it is directly before that.
I got you, okay.
And you go right by the fish house, or what used to be the fish house, and you're into this house. If you'll see it. Do you have the assessors out there?
Yeah.
It's good to get a picture of it, kind of
I got it here.
where it is. I have it, but I can of course change it. I'm gonna leave a secret too.
Yeah, we got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
So you see where it is, right?
Yeah.
And it's got that little piece that kind of sticks out into the West Fork.
I got you.
So the deal with this one is interesting. I appraised this and took an appeal for the prior thing, 2013, got a big reduction. It's a seasonal home,
Mm-hmm.
and it has the same influence, or not the same, but slightly less influence of the hotel and all that jazz. But in the meantime, since that last reval, he has completely raised the structure, so it's up on piers
Mm-hmm.
at great expense. And he did it without changing the interior of the house at all. I was shocked when I took a look at it. There is not, he
said that the ups and saucers in the cupboards didn't even move when they raised it, which amazed me, but I believe it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is still a cottage. It's seasonal. It can't be used year round. They got to turn the water off in the winter time. It hasn't changed. The only change made, which is a huge change, is the fact that it's now up on piers and out of the flood zone, so they save a lot of flood insurance, and they have to raise it anyway. You know, if you're going to make any changes to a property, you in a flood zone like that, it's got to be raised up. So they did, but they made no changes to the interior. It's completely seasonal. It's a cottage. It's minimal finish inside. It's nothing fancy. And you can see the pictures in the appraisal there. There's nothing fancy about this house at all. So, you know, this is pretty typical in with Madison and other shoreline towns appraisals. Not a big distinction is typically made between seasonal and year-round homes. And I think in the case of this one, it hurt them regarding value and taxation substantially because it's not worth, I don't think, what the town says it's worth. So anyway, in terms of trying to come up with comparable sales for this property, the first thing you want to do, of course, is find seasonal properties. And there are fewer and fewer and farther between these days. There are 2 seasonal properties in the report and 2 year-round properties for reasons that I'll get into in a sec. So 34 Toffee Lane is an older sale out of the range we were speaking of before, but the other ones are all in the you know, prior to the 2018 and within a well, 2 of them. 2 are 2018 and 2 are 2016. So I'm honestly giving most of my weight in this appraisal to comps 2 and 3, which are 61 Middle Beach Road West and 156 Kelsey Place, which is off of Neck Road. So I'm going to talk about those mostly. I needed to get seasonal sales in there. And comp 2 is a seasonal sale. Comp 3, Kelsey Place, is not. So let's go to 61 Middle Beach Road West, which sold directly into the time of the appraisal for $840,000. It was seasonal, it's a little bit smaller than the subject, 1,400 feet. It is not in the same condition as the subject. I've been in it, and it's even more minimally constructed inside, and so there's an adjustment for condition there. And then down the bottom, you'll see a big adjustment for the fact that one of them is elevated and one of them is not. And I made that adjustment at $100,000. I looked at cost figures. They're all over the place on these things. And I'm really making that adjustment based on what I think the, market reaction to this will be. I made a $100,000 adjustment for the fact that 61 Middle Beach Road is not raised, but 89 West Wharf is. So luckily we have, and I talked about this one last time too, I should have put it in the other report. We have a property that was raised very similar to the subject. It's over off Neck Road. It's 156 Kelsey Place. I have also inspected this property a couple of years ago when, actually more than 5 years ago probably, when it wasn't for an appeal, something else. But anyway, it's a perfectly nice house, built, it's only 13 years old. I made adjustments for, I'm going to talk about the big adjustments for location in a minute, but I made adjustments for superior condition, for superior bath count, and slightly superior size. It does have an elevator. I had to adjust for that. And it is year-round, so I had to make an adjustment for the fact that it's a year-round property and not a seasonal property at $75,000. It is raised, so I didn't have to make an adjustment for the fact that it is raised up and the subject is raised up, so the same there. So the location adjustment, I'm calling it beach average. What all that really means is my guess. It's not a guess because I have it documented, but my estimate of what the difference in value of those 2 locations is. And if you go to page 10 in the report, see how I did it. Okay. So all I did was take the sales over on the Neck Road area versus the sales over on the Middle Beach area in that price range and in that time range. And I use median price. So in the Neck Road area, the median price of those sales,
not necessarily waterfront, they're all water influenced, of course. But the median price in the price range I used was 637,000. The median sales price in the Middle Beach area, and I used the neighborhood from West Wharf over to Liberty Street, was $735,000. Obviously, they sold the median prices higher by 13.3%. So that's where that adjustment comes from. So 156 Kelsey Place is adjusted at 13.3%, which equals $147,000 change because it's in an inferior location. And that's proved by the location adjustment that I just went through. So that's where that number comes from.
Okay, hold on one second.
Hi.
On this page, you see the.
I'm sorry, say that again. I can't hear you. Which of those sales?
The date.
Oh, the date, sales date. Yeah, it's on there. It says status search date from 10/1/17 to 10/1/18. Right under.
Yeah.
There's a thing for criteria.
Mhm.
Shows, what I chose. So I chose sales prices from between $500,000 and $1 million. They're single family.
Mm-hmm.
The sales date was 10/1/17 to 10/1/18.
Okay, is there's no price on here, is there?
I'm sorry, I missed that again. There's no what? Oh, no, I didn't give you the actual addresses of the 13 sales. I'd be more than happy to do so. And, the same for the 18 sales over on the, in the subject neighborhood. I have that information because it comes up. I just use the aggregate for it. If you'd like me to do that, I can mail it in. I can email it. Give me an email address. You'll have it tomorrow morning. This is the assessor's office?
Yeah.
Okay. Attention to the BAA or attention to you, Shirley? Okay, yep, I'll get that over first thing in the morning. Yep, no trouble at all. So anyway, that's how I came up with that adjustment for 156 Kelsey Place over the Neck Road area. And you'll see if you go to comp 4, which is on page 7, that the reason that there was another seasonal home that I wanted to put in, and that's also got a big adjustment. It's the same thing, 13.3% for location, and that adjusts up to a little under $1.1 million. So the best comps, I think, in this report are 61 Middle Beach Road West, which is really right in the exact neighborhood of the subject, farther from the beach hotel, but Booth County. And 156 Kelsey Place, because it is a raised structure. 61 Middle Beach is at comp 2, is a seasonal home. 156 Kelsey Place, of course, is not. But when you do all those adjustments, you come to a pretty tight range of values between 979 and $1,069,000. 156 Kelsey Place adjusts to exactly $1 million. I believe that this property is worth exactly $1 million. So my final estimated value as of October 1st, 2018 on this home is $1 million. And that's versus the town valuation of $1,450,018. This would mostly probably be in the land again. I'm estimating the land at 800,000, and the town is estimating it at $1,355,000. I think it's way out of line.
What do you have for the dwelling,
For the dwelling?
the building value?
Oh, whatever. So I got to calculate.
All right, don't worry about it. We can do that. Okay.
It's $200,000.
Yeah. Yes.
And probably 100,000 of that is here.
Right. Okay. Anybody else have any more questions? Okay, Tom. Thank you.
No problem at all. If you have more tonight, or you done?
Oh, no. Oh, no, we have more.
God bless and have a cup of coffee.
All right,
All right, thanks very much.
see you later.
Bye-bye.
Now. James Murphy. So Gateway, who's here? That's Mr. Bearbaum here?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, he was due for, now, you want to do a conference call? Try to see if we can knock that off that?
Yeah.
Sure, Gateway rides and sales.
This is personal property.
Oh, wow, yeah. Hopefully this won't be long. Over Short Drive. Easter. Oyster ground continued use.
Wow.
And he said there's pillows in the ground, with the covers in the ground. This is new, Shirley. This is,
Right? But wait, isn't
I don't go up there.
the, oh, is it the assessed value?
well, they got it, the appraised value is 25,000. He wants to drop it to 200. Enough on any land.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is 1310. $1,310 is the. That's the
Wow. Where is this?
Robert's, it's
Overshore. Okay, that's off the neck.
Bernal?
Gerald Birnbaum?
Oh, we're doing the call.
Oh, hey, let's.
Yeah, you said 25,000. Chicken rice?
So you're looking at Gateway.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Robert's Food, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there are kiddie rides out there. I used to take my grandson on them.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many, I'd sit there with a packet full of quarters. Okay, now, so this is a personal property, that's what.
Yeah.
And here we go, I'll tell you what the problem is here, he didn't fill out the form. At least I don't have a copy of it.
What, the petition or the?
Peter,
Yeah, if you look. Yeah. Yeah, no.
no, that's
None of it says non,
the actual form.
says non-file.
So if you don't file, they,
For Darwin.
all righty. So this should be quick, John. that's gateway sales, and right?
And I wonder, in the case of, you need some kind of authorization from the LLC.
For an LLC, if you're a member. Okay. Okay, let's go another period.
We're sorry. You must first
201, is that Jersey? Oh.
Hello.
Hi, this is Bill Lewis calling from the Madison Board of Assessment Appeals.
Good evening, Mr. How are you?
Not too bad. And I'm speaking with,
This is Casey. This is my agent form. I found it to Emily.
okay. You did submit an agent form.
Yes, sir. We
Yeah.
actually submitted it this past Monday.
Okay,
If you want, I did send another copy of it if you think that I could respond.
no, if you,
By email, when I spoke to Emily on Monday, she said it would be able to email the copy to get there by today.
okay. Okay,
And
we'll,
also-
we're,
Go ahead, I'm very sorry.
we're gonna have to take an oath. We are recording what we're saying here.
Yeah.
And my name is Bill Lewis, and Shirley Taylor and Craig Becker are the three members of the board who will be hearing your case. So we,
Yes, thank you.
do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God or upon penalty of perjury.
I do.
Okay. And what was your name?
My name is Stacy, S-T-A-C-Y, and it's C, as in Frank, C-N-E-Y. I'm actually Anthony DeMarco's daughter.
I got you. Okay. Now, I guess this is over the equipment at Robert's Foods.
Yes, sir.
Now, I mean, I know they've been there forever. I used to put my grandson on them.
That's most likely true, yeah.
But how long have you supplied these?
If you hold on one second, let me just check out of the records. I didn't actually. So we actually had the equipment there 3 years. There was a prior operator in that location to us.
Okay. So have you ever filed a personal property?
So we actually, the company is based out of Northern Jersey and we did not file personal property tax returns. So we were unaware of the requirement, and I believe the notices have been going to the office, which actually has been closed for the past 2 years.
Okay.
So it's now changed the address with, actually with Emily, now that's on file. You now have 562 Calvin Street instead of the prior address, which is 172 Cedar Avenue.
Okay. What I would suggest to you, if you go to the website, Madison website,
Yes, I have it up now. Yeah.
okay. Go to the assessor's office and you'll find the form in there that you're supposed to file. If you could fill it out and send it in ASAP,
Absolutely, I'll send it tomorrow.
okay? Yeah. Do you have a DBA?
No, we're getting the right to LLC. We do not have a DBA. I'm sorry, I was unable to hear, the woman in the background.
So those Shellfish are mentioning that, you felt that you need to visit us for the state of Connecticut. So getting.
We are not typically, we have a clearance letter for the state of Connecticut
Okay,
because of our type of business and the way we operate.
okay. But anyway, if you could fill that form out, because and then all the answers will be there, you know, the original cost of the equipment and then the depreciation schedule.
Yeah, so that's, when I spoke to Emily, she told me the valuation on that, because I guess we haven't filed, I couldn't find the property online to look at the current valuation. I believe you have it at, it was $1,200, that, I only have the notice, the notice with the past due amount on it, I do not have the current valuation on the property.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, they have it right now at $1,200.
Right, so, when I spoke, I don't know, maybe I spoke to you, I think I spoke to the actual tax assessor.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, and he said in order to address this, that I would need to file the appeal form along with documentation showing the value of the equipment.
Yep.
So if that's not the process, and I just need to file the tax return, then that's absolutely fine.
No, that would be the process, but if you put it on that form and you know, it has everything, has your agent, you put as a member and all that stuff. And then there's a depreciation because we're talking about that equipment was there. Well, that's for federally, for the purpose of property tax, it doesn't go under 50%.
So here's the thing, like, the equipment purchase, those pieces of equipment were purchased in the 70s.
Yeah,
And this case was just at $200.
okay, so,
Okay, I will, okay, that's no problem, like, you don't have to come, absolutely.
yeah,
So, you know, even though you have the valuation at 1,200, that's not accurate. I've also submitted, in an email, 2 letters from current, resellers of City Rides, with the value of piece of equipment on it. Plus the current auction houses that are unable to sell this equipment because of, number one, because of COVID, we actually have been non-operating for the past 18 months.
mm-hmm,
So that was the other consideration that I was informed I should bring up during the meeting.
okay. Where's the equipment? Still there?
It's still there, yeah. It's just the equipment has, it had caution tape on it.
Okay, okay. All right, yeah, so if you would do that, fill it out, and then at least we would have something to work with.
Okay, do you have the information now?
I do.
Okay.
I do, but again, this would be a starting point, and then you follow the depreciation tables, and you'll see where you're supposed to be. Now, as far as the penalty for not filing, that we can't do anything. But
Well,
that,
you can do something with the penalty. But it's the penalty that you're discussing.
well, the assessment, we can do something about. The penalty is 25% or whatever number we come up with.
Okay, but, you know, and also you'll see there's happened last year before COVID even hit in January, the businesses, we have to do this stuff.
Can you hear Shirley?
No, not really, actually, sorry.
I think you meant.
Yeah.
By lowering the assessment.
Yeah.
25% would be lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, she understood.
Okay, so if you would do that, then we would certainly have something to work with.
Okay, and then, would there, after you receive the form, would you want to have another phone call? I know that this is the only time that you guys were doing appeals, or would we just take it from there? What's the next step for the
Well,
process? After you receive the
Yeah,
form?
we would, based on the form, then we can make an adjustment.
Okay, all right, good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. Have a good evening.
You
You
too.
too.
Okay.
Who the fuck? I didn't stick them there and-
For $200, it lasted 50 years? That's pretty good.
Right?
What else does that?
I mean, I'm good. I'm curious, at least 4. You know,
Yeah,
that's a lot of fun.
I know, I used to contribute heavily, but, okay, let's,
Don't-
can we get in Mr. Birnbaum. That's an oyster business. And then,
I'm cool stuff, though.
wow.
Like the business is pretty,
Yeah, this is. Oh,
how do you get that? Okay. Yeah, well, you do that. No, no, no.
No, sadly, we don't have arrows. Okay. You could, I just have to ask you a few questions about COVID.
I just had my second shot Monday.
Good for
I'm
you.
feeling good.
Good for you. Feel wait.
No, I don't have any of these.
Okay, so you don't see what shows that
Not even after the shot, the second one.
14 days have you been in close contact with anybody? Are you isolated, quarantined because you may have been?
No, I'm self-quarantined.
Are you currently waiting on the results of the COVID test?
No.
All right.
I'm just signing it, so, you know, I got it
No,
all.
no.
Let me just call, let me just.
Yeah, you take care of that. Then we're gonna have to take an oath and we can go to your business.
You won't study on this piece of ground, are you?
You will be. You will be.
Okay. This is Craig Becker,
I'm Jerry Birnbaum, how you doing?
Nice to meet you.
and that's Shirley Taylor.
Yep, where's, she disappeared into the
She'll
tax
she'll
office.
be back. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon time to be approved?
So help me God.
Okay. Now you're gonna have to educate us.
Well, I was gonna ask you, Bill, you know, you can either do this quickly or, and I'll be done with it in 2 seconds, if that's what you would prefer. I can do it. Oh, no.
Yeah.
My case is, the farmland status for the assessed for the $200, okay? Somehow mistakenly, you know, like I'm retired and somebody else works the ground, so I just put down, I'm retired.
Yep.
So I thought that I would bring you the records, here's some records here that have been ongoing.
Did you submit those?
I submitted.
Oh, okay, we got a
I think
copy.
you can, I think you can see this. I could get more, but I just want to show you that it was active, okay? So these are the government for you
Oh.
and we're, okay, so you can. And all I want is my reassessment to go back to the $200 because it shows that it's active.
So the history is you paid $200
Right,
for the right to farm here,
right. It's underwater.
okay?
And apparently this tax assessor thinks it's tillable land and assessed it at exorbitant. Right, so, and she's well aware of it, okay?
At low tide is it out of water,
You can't walk it, I'll tell you that.
okay?
Okay. Let me give you this. I didn't make 2 copies of it,
Okay,
but it should go back, okay, to what it was. The state charges $4 an acre,
okay,
and they're not 2 copies, it's just in yellow there.
yeah,
Okay, so 4 times 8 is 32.
Yeah.
For a year or whatnot. So it really should go back to 200.
okay. When did that change for you?
Just this past, I probably had an attitude because of COVID, but I'm retired. I don't want to be, just this year.
Okay,
Now, 2020 was a down year for Shellfish because restaurants closed and everything else. Mind you, I do not do anything with this myself personally. I just let one of the local guys go out there, and I've been doing it for 30 years.
yeah,
And he can do whatever he wants. Also, the Madison Shellfish Commission was told they could use it anytime themselves. I was on the Shellfish Commission for 15 years.
Ernie Small,
Ernie, sure. I just talked to him the other day
okay,
down in Fort Pierce.
I thought it was Stewart,
No, Fort Pierce. He's close to Stewart.
yeah, okay. Did you miss filing something you're supposed to file?
No. No.
What,
I filed it. What's happened over the years is they've been charging me for equipment, the assessor's office.
yeah,
I had no equipment.
okay,
You know, and I finally just threw up my hands, you know, during the COVID. I said, listen, I'm retired. I'm not doing anything. I don't have any property here other than the property. That's what happened.
so you were filing the yearly personal property?
Yeah. So that's my taxes included there that way for a while.
Yeah. Well, you have a boat. pretty
No, I
good.
don't have anything anymore. I can't even walk around. I got neuropathy in my feet. I fall right through water.
Okay,
So,
but see, unfortunately, if you don't fill the form out and you,
no, when the form was filled out.
and it was a place on it that says disposed of, so at some
It's
point,
not disposed of, it's just that I never, you know, for 30 years, I just let these guys, you know, working on it. I didn't care, it was just keep the history going. If you look at the letter
okay,
that I sent, here's the letter. Needed. The assessment. I'm sure it's in your file.
What do you took no money for?
No, I don't ask for any money for it. I'm a historian. If I told you why I bought that piece of property, you'd probably have a fill with me anyway. It was a spite sale.
Is
Truly,
that
it was.
a copy for, here, we'll share this.
You recall when they stopped the hydraulic clams dredging in town?
No,
No.
I can't say that I do. So this is strictly, you have the right to farm that section, is that it?
It came, a couple of years ago, it came under the Department of Agriculture Division.
Yeah,
You know, it came under farmland. That's what happened.
okay,
They considered it farm.
and you have the right to farm it.
I have the right.
then you must have to show some income from it.
I,
Well, at least farmland works like that. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
I don't know how, that never happened previous to this.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. We're gonna have to look into that. That's, I don't know where you come up with a value of $25,000.
but I'll tell you how she came up with 17.5, okay? On title 420, I think it was, or something like that. 490, it's $90 for pasture land, $77.50 for orchards, $2,400 an acre for tillable. Tillable, okay, this is underwater, it's rocks.
Yeah,
I had a good discussion with Scott Cole, who had gone through the same thing, okay, he got a hold of the Farm Bureau because he was assessed at tillable land. And he got a hold of the Farm Bureau, and the Farm Bureau says, this is not tillable A property, that's tobacco farmland where there's no rocks or anything in it, so
what size is the property?
it's, you tell me, 8 acres.
Oh, it's 8 acres?
Here's one of the old deeds for
So, some of it's 40 to 100. But, okay. We're gonna have to research this a little bit.
well, if there's any way I can help you out. Listen, I could tell you about how much produce, I mean, how many oysters are out there.
Yeah.
But oystering is a lot different, you know. What can I say? 2020 was a bust. The restaurant business wasn't, you know,
Yeah,
so how can you adhere to that? I mean, you can't say, oh,
You have farmland on land,
right,
you know, if you produce a crop and you show, let somebody produce a crop and you wouldn't take any money for it. It's still tax land that you have there as farmland. You don't
Right.
tax it like, you would tax it like you could build a mansion.
Yeah.
But they would tax it like.
I can't build a mansion there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what this would work, so we'll look into it.
So, but all
There
of
there are oysters though. that can be sold. You couldn't take the money.
what happens is the gentleman works the Neck River,
mhm.
and they get so many out there. I can bring, you know, if need be, I can bring more complete records on, the guys aren't around here. I mean, I just gave you, you know,
What would stop me from taking my little rowboat and going out there and digging up oysters?
nothing, because nobody even monitors,
Okay.
and it happens all the time.
Hmm.
And the town doesn't put anybody out there,
Okay,
so.
Shirley, you have any questions?
Cool. I mean, I think you should bring out the sample for the oysters.
Yeah, we could have done that.
There's a bunch out there right now, actually. They have like So,
Hmm.
and I consider it a little different than the farmland, I'm sure. I just, you know, all I want is to get it back to 200. I just retained that thing as an historical piece of Madison. I think there's only one other piece, and I don't even know that it's taxed anyone. The Dolans had a piece out there. And one time they got taxed direct waterfront. So.
That's as direct as you can get.
So,
True. It is
So-
like that.
okay, I won't take up any more of your time. I gave my
Okay, sir.
spiel.
We thank you.
I'll tell Ernie you said hello. He's doing all right. Oh, that's fine. Thank you. There's more records that are needed. I can get them for those guys. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Which arrow am I pointing to?
Oh,
I just don't want to screw up in here.
well, here.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey, you what?
Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you need a minute to close this, Bill? Give me
Yeah.
about 20 minutes. I gotta read through this file. All right.
Good guy. So this is,
All we have is
Wow.
This is a late file. Says that she has, letter saying you didn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I think the message, we don't have to do this for the purposes of, they have to register.
Of course,
with the town, and then,
because they've got property here,
that's what
collecting
we're
money.
Because a lot of people not be aware of the, you know, lost those in that.
Right. It's something else that I really say that you have to.
That's what
This probably falls through the cracks. Somebody trying to figure out what,
Yeah.
but usually if you have, see, there's no lease or anything. So I don't know how, if we're gonna attack it, I guess it's a business entity. But then there's gotta be some income. If you don't produce income, like, you can't claim you have a Christmas tree farm unless you show them,
are you talking about?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it'd be more like, you know, dry land, right? Because honestly, if you want the person to go to or the solicitor, you probably sell it.
Yeah,
And you get money for it. I mean, how many dollars worth of books do you for it in a year, you know?
I-
Certainly some value to it.
I wouldn't imagine be a huge business, but I don't know, you know, and
This is what you're asking. 17,000. So we don't have anything for Kaminsky, because maybe because of the family.
yeah,
Okay.
but he,
We don't even know what the family is.
it's 81 Island Avenue, I suppose we could look that up. But let's call him, see what he has to say. So we- This is Ken Kaminsky.
Hello, this is Ken Kaminsky. You've reached my mobile voicemail. Please leave me your name, number, and a detailed message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks very much, and have a great day.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Mr. Kaminsky, this is Bill Lewis calling from the Madison Board of Assessment Appeals. I will try you, hopefully you'll check your message, and I will try to call you back in maybe 10 minutes or so. Obviously, I can't leave you a callback number because it's a conference call and it has to be recorded, etc. So I will call you back in approximately 10 minutes. Thank you. Meanwhile, let me look up 81. I get a field card anyway.
I kind of recommend that, hey, Mr. Kaminsky's on the board of finance.
Really?
Yep. I'm-
That's a Jersey number.
yeah,
Let me get a field card.
Oh. Verizon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. No, first one. I actually asked him if he had a degree in science, so I thought I could help with conservation. Which I guess I could have done, but he felt desperately. Yeah. So I figured that'd be my part. Well, it's interesting. I'll see it. Yeah. Yeah, he was out there. Combative nature. But other than that, yeah, it's really cool. You know, the neighborhoods and meeting some neighbors. Oyster beds, hitting your eyes. Well, I imagine the wetlands commission is just one wetland after another, right? You get a little bit of everything. Yeah. Just want to do something. Yeah. Mm. It's funny. Sometimes people talk to us as if we're the assessor, you know. We're really just here to try to be a mediator, right?
Yeah.
You guys said this was, well, we didn't say anything. Assessors did. It's amazing how often people pay taxes.
Yeah.
Appraisal.
Right.
Even when members of the board of finance.
Appraisal of the tax value, that's still the same, but then some people will talk about it.
Being appraised.
It can get them back
Confusing.
trying to find out what they're talking about.
Yeah. Thanks, Bill. Wow.
No construction in 2000. Done on them.
Five.
In-ground work done on them. Or you feeling sorry for
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Wow.
It says construction of garage.
All right, yeah.
But I mean, part 1.5. Yeah. Right.
So this is sales listing review in 2018, so I must have been trying to sell something.
Okay.
Can I ask you about that?
That's the one.
Oh,
Hi, Mr. Commerci.
yeah.
Bill Lewis calling for the Madison Board of Assessment Appeals.
Oh, hey.
Not too bad. Are you going to be the only person testifying?
I thought it was tomorrow night.
No.
It's tonight. Yeah, no, yeah, I am not prepared, but I can kind of walk through it. Yeah, I'm the only person that was going to talk to you. Yes.
Okay. You have to take an oath and you realize it's recorded. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
All righty. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And again, my name is Bill Lewis. Shirley,
Hey, Bill. How are you?
not too bad. And Shirley Taylor is here, and Craig
Hi, Shirley.
Becker.
And who?
Craig Becker.
Hey, Craig.
That's who will be hearing your case. Okay, go, shoot.
So you guys are gonna have to help me out with the process. No one has explained anything to me. No one has given me any details as far as I thought that this first meeting was more of a discussion around what the issues were, and then I was gonna hear from the panel or the committee as to what the next steps were. So you guys are gonna have to educate me on what the process is. Nobody from town gave me any indication or any details as to what this was, how this worked.
Okay, you're appealing your taxes.
That is correct. My tax amount associated with 81 Island Avenue.
Yeah.
I've done some research on other homes in the neighborhood where their tax amount is significantly less than the tax amount that I'm paying. The home sizes are similar, if not larger. And my concern is that it's not an equitable situation for or homes in the town of Madison where it is not a balanced approach for the amount of tax I'm paying in comparison to other like homes in the surrounding area.
Okay, again, you have to submit, or you should have submitted the properties that you're comparing it to, so.
So that's fantastic. I do have information I can submit. No one had told me where to submit, who to submit it to. Is there an email, or is there, I could take scans? What is the process for where to submit and who to submit to?
The process would have been to submit it with your petition to appeal.
Yeah, it's at the top of the form. Mr. Kaminsky.
Yeah.
Craig Murphy, it says right at the top of the form to include any documentation you presented to support your appeal with the appeal.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I think you're the last person. Hi, Sean. Yes. Yes. Okay. I mailed my petition in, and they had said that the whoever I spoke to that they did not receive it. So I took a picture and scanned and sent that in. I can do the same thing with the details that I have on the other properties. That's something that I can do.
At this point, it's too late.
Oh, okay.
That's right now, the purpose of this meeting is to review the material you said, and you didn't send any.
Oh, can I get attention until tomorrow night?
We're
not in
not,
session tomorrow night.
we're not hearing tomorrow night.
When are you hearing again?
You already have a fate, one, this is a late file to begin with.
No, I listen, I understand 100%, and I apologize in advance. See, I had thought that there was a process in advance to go over the details. I didn't realize it had to be submitted with the form, and that's my fault. I obviously, it's my fault.
Right at the top of the form, it tells you.
No, I understand. There's no excuse. My bad. Completely 100% on me. So I guess the only thing I can ask is if, again, I thought this was tomorrow. I had it in my calendar for tomorrow night, and it was earlier. I thought it was like at, I want to say either, hold on, look.
You want to try to add it to the.
Yeah, it's for 8:30. I thought tomorrow night in my calendar. So. No, that's fine. I understand. When is your next hearing date?
March 23rd.
Would it be acceptable to you? I can prepare all the details, get it in, and we can regather on the 23rd.
Okay, we'll put it off to 6:30, and that's not what happens if the guy ahead of you goes over.
No.
Then it's going to be later, but.
I understand. Listen, I appreciate your flexibility, and I appreciate you helping me here with this. I know it. I just thank you. I thank you very much. I'll get all the details in, and I will send it into that fax number so that they have it with my file. Now that I know what I need to do, I will get it done for you. Send it in. We'll have a dialogue on the 23rd at 6:30 p.m. or whenever you finish your earlier conversation.
Right.
All right. I'm so sorry. Thank you again for your time and your willingness to help me. I appreciate it. Yes. Yeah, that's the problem. I'm in South Carolina right now, and that's the reason why it's a lot has been going back and forth. So, yeah, no, that's fine. You want me to fax it into that number?
Yeah.
I think that would be best. Okay, super. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate it. And thank you for your service as well.
No problem. Good
All
night.
right, have a good evening.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is, although the deliberations on some of these,
You have one more. Too.
no. Nope, that's it.
That's,
No.
6:15 conference on 23rd.
Oh, yes. That, yeah, the Middle Beach, 68 Middle Beach,
Yeah.
yeah. On the 23rd, but not tonight. So we'll be a little fresher there.
Nice.
Okay, do we,
Motion to adjourn? Defer. Oh.
oh, correct.
Remaining. Okay. Second. Right.
Oh,
Yes, anyone, yeah.
all in favor?
All right.
Carried.
Now we can, do we have to nothing to adjourn and all that? or?
All in favor? Adjourn.
Early, because it's still.